Welcome back to Cougar Chronicle. We are so glad you're here with us,
absolutely.
and we have a great first guest, don't we?
100%. So with us, we've got Mr. Pare, our Director of Facilities. Good morning.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Happy start of the school year to you.
Yeah.
I'm sure, have you had a chance to sleep yet?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I keep looking to see if he's too young for bags under his eyes.
I joke sometimes that I don't know if Brett sleeps and he just recharges. I think he just plugs in and gets going. And you heard a little bit earlier, I mean, we talk about whenever people go, what happens in the summertime? Or you have summers off and you have, you know, it must be nice to not have to work in the summertime.
Yeah.
Not for you or your people, right?
No.
You guys operate on a 12-month contract.
Yeah.
So talk real quick and just remind folks, when we talk about your crew, who does that include?
Yeah. So we have both our custodial crew and our grounds crew. So we have an incredible group of people who I think once summer rolls around, a couple of them are like kicking the teachers out. Like they're ready to go.
It's our time.
They can't wait to start. So, you know, I think the first day of summer for us is the most exciting because it's when we really kind of shift gears and start our summer work, which is fun.
Yeah.
Why is summer important for you guys? Like, that's the thing I really want folks to get is, I mean, like for the SAU, for facilities, for operation stuff, I mean, the summertime is really winter break. Anytime the buildings are empty are really our busiest times.
Yeah. For us, I mean, summer, I think we spend the school year kind of prepping and planning these projects, and then, you know, in the summer months, we get to kind of see them come to life, which is exciting. You know, we spend a whole year planning them, and then we have 6 weeks to get them done. Yeah. So
short window.
Yeah, it is. And I think each summer we kind of pack more and more into it, so it's fun, but definitely busy.
Yeah. Now, give examples of some summer projects.
Yeah, so I mean, in all of our schools throughout the entire district, I think every single classroom, every piece of furniture gets moved out. Our custodial staff goes in, they clean it from top to bottom, they refinish the floors. You know, they strip some of our floors, they do all the hallways. So pretty much every surface in our buildings gets a good deep clean, which is hard to do throughout the summer months when they're full of kids and teachers. So that's really exciting for us.
That is necessary. I mean,
and you heard me mention, we talked earlier in the beginning of the show, that it really is a dance because you can't have, like, one crew might have to work in multiple buildings. So it's how do you get those things scheduled?
Right.
And it's jokingly, I've never really said to these guys, but it was always fun. I always called it the creeping death because you were like, if you didn't have your things out of your room, you only had so much time to get stuff out, and so they were creeping closer to you. The wall is coming, and you're like, you've got 2 days, or we're gonna you pack it, or we're packing it.
Or we pack it, exactly.
Because we've got to get everything clean, and it's not. I realize too that when we're talking a couple hundred teachers of classrooms that have to get cleaned, but it also includes offices, nurses, counselors. You know, I mean, everything is going on. The amount of cleaning products, the amount of
it's amazing.
and everything is not, when we talk about, one summer I helped out waxing in Missouri with waxing the floors, which people laugh, you know, me on the using the buffing machine. But it really, like one classroom, when we talk about the idea of refinishing the classroom, how much time are we talking per classroom?
Yeah, I mean, it takes days per classroom, you know, multiple coats of wax, and so it's really days per classroom.
And you have a lot of children at a very concentrated space, so there's every nook and cranny gets covered.
Yes.
As it should, right? You know, and the windows and all the, you know, nooks and crannies.
And cleaning is really just one part of it, because then there's also facility stuff. I know, talk outdoor with your grounds crew.
Yeah, so
that group, they're always going.
Equally as important, we have our grounds crew who handles the outsides of our building. So we have 4 grounds crew for all 6 of our district buildings. And I mean, I think it's one of the most exciting things for me because it's when we really get to kind of have a good first impression when everybody comes back. So they're doing, you know, the mowing and the string trimming year round, but the summer is when we get to do some new plantings or some new mulching and really just get the schools looking great for when staff and students come back. So that's one of my favorites, is going around and seeing them get to do that.
Well, and it's been hot.
Yeah.
That's a tough job.
And also we also have to take some other additional things on. You know, we had some major limbs drop in Warner in the playground area.
Yes.
And so that was kind of a thing of coordinating that effort of making sure that we're communicating out that, as always, safety and security of our kids.
Absolutely.
And I'll make sure Greg has this picture too. I mean, we're not talking like a little branch that fell. I mean, it was a tree.
It was. Do you do all that work? Do you sub it out?
We sub some of it out. Definitely big tree work.
You don't have that equipment, right? You just don't have it.
No.
But still coordinating those
Oh, of
things
course.
because the grass still needs to get mowed.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then also on top of that, then we're talking about weeding and mulching and all the additional work that has
That's
going
right.
on. But then you also understand too is it's coordinating like repainting the parking lots. A lot of asphalt work trying to get things
Right,
going.
right.
What project, what building needed to have a boiler replaced and what does that whole
Right,
thing look like?
exactly.
We had the amount of work that went, if you remember the SAU in New London has a standby generator and that project
Yes,
getting
that was
completed.
huge
Yeah.
last year.
And so when we have all these things going on, it really is such a dance. I mean, between Brett, Scott, and Shannon, their admin team for facilities doing an amazing job, and I really appreciate all the effort you guys do. But if I get to intimately see the
Yes, you do,
dance
the
and the
before, the
coordination
after, and the
and all
during,
that,
right, right.
But it's like it's fun for me because I watch the process.
Yeah.
But some
Right.
folks, it's like the summer, like a kid goes away in sixth grade,
Yes, yes,
comes back in
yes.
seventh grade,
And
he
it's
was
all-
5 foot, and now he's 6 foot.
Right, right. And and I expect that first football game, those fields are going to be beautiful, and the
Yeah.
lines will be done. I mean, that's a lot of prep, right? Just a lot of prep.
And that's always going.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, every time I turn around, I look out the window and there's somebody weed eating. Or,
You guys are busy.
Yeah, no, and John touched upon it,
Waves.
but a lot of the summer is like the behind the scenes stuff that
Sure.
nobody really ever sees. John mentioned the striping of the roads, or
Right.
even down to pumping our septic system. Some of it's
course.
not all that glamorous.
Pretty,
but,
right. But it has to be done.
We have to
Yep.
do it.
Yep.
And it's some of the most important stuff that we do over the summer. John touched upon like how great our staff is in the office up here at the SAU to really help keep all these parts
Right.
moving. So it's
And,
great.
and you're enthusiastic about it.
Yeah.
Because it's to me, that would be like a frustration nightmare. Just all these schools and all the work that's looming, and your enthusiasm is wonderful.
Thanks.
well, and I think one of the things I appreciate a lot about you, Brett, is that Brett very much takes ownership of the whole thing.
Yes.
Like these are your buildings. I mean, they're
Right.
the taxpayers,
Yeah.
and we
Right.
battle in
Right.
budget session,
Right,
and
right,
making sure the
right,
NBC gets us and the board understands what's going on. But everything has been very. It's a great
Yes.
vision, and the work that he does is as much for the kids coming in next year as for the kids coming in 20 years from now.
That's right.
That
That's right.
forward mind thinking. And so we get into stuff, as new furniture comes in, it's the colors and
Right.
it really is down to the detail thing. I mean, we laugh about a lot of that stuff and we joke pretty hard. But I've worked with facility folks that say, man, it's a desk. But he wants that
right.
professional attitude.
Absolutely.
And that want things to function. And the old Saturday Night Live, it's sometimes better to look good than to feel good. But we make sure we do both. We want to feel good, but we make sure we look
It's
good as
true,
well.
and you're putting students first,
Yeah.
and our children first, right? And so we're so grateful for that.
Yeah.
It's not just the color; it's is it right for this classroom, this age group, and it's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
And I
they-
think our staff within the buildings feels that same way. They challenge
Right.
themselves. How many rooms can we chemically strip this year?
Yeah.
Can
Right.
we try a new stripe pattern on our athletic fields? So
Yeah.
I think they take pride in it as well, which is really great to see that at the end of the day, we all have the same end goal, and that's to make these spaces great for everybody who utilizes them.
So talk about the shift. So you go from summertime, and now here we are in September.
Yeah.
And what mode do you go into now?
I think we take a minute to kind of reset, and then believe it or
Deep
not,
breath.
we've started planning next summer's work a year out, just getting that ready, and
Gotcha. Wow.
kind of.
It's always coordinated.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's the never-ending cycle. So if you didn't love it,
Yeah.
you
Yeah, before we know it, it'll be snow tires on
Yeah,
our plow trucks
right,
and
yes.
our first delivery of salt and sand. So
Yes.
it's from one thing to the next.
Was
and-
there anything this summer that was especially challenging? That you said, okay, this required a little extra effort, or that was hard? Or-
Yeah, I mean, I think just kind of district-wide, we had a lot of projects going on. So it was just, I think almost every school we had some sort of project going on.
Right.
I think one of the most rewarding things will be finishing the full building sprinkler system in New London. That was a
okay.
huge, 2-summer undertaking with a
Wow.
lot of coordination. So getting that done will be huge for us, and just, another thing we have to protect that building. So that was great.
That's really, I mean,
And-
I know the
and-
size of the school. I'm
Yeah.
sitting here thinking, oh.
And people, you just like you expect the systems to be in place,
Right,
And
right.
and so again that coordinated effort. Because remember, while all this construction is happening in classrooms or in hallways, we've got a custodial staff that's working behind the scenes to clean rooms and we need to put music to it. We need to film it and put
Yeah,
music to it.
that's a
'Cause it really is a
need a
dance.
TikTok video,
It's the most complicated dance
It is.
because if the custodial staff makes a mistake, then the project takes longer and that's an overrun. But if all of a sudden if we make a mistake on the installation side and a room potentially gets flooded or something happens there, all that work is for nothing.
Well, and then sprinkle in the summer programming, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So on top of that, certain schools have, carry the, not the burden, but carry the weight of the summer program. So you're trying to get in there fast and get the summer students in and then get them recleaned, right?
It's such a cool thing.
That's a lot.
Yeah, we're lucky to work with really great vendors who help us with all of these projects. I mean, we definitely couldn't do it without them. And then, both myself and Scott, we can't stay away sometimes, so we love to go take a look at what's going on in the buildings.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah. It's exciting to see from a week to week or even a day to day, like how much happens.
Come back in.
And do you take a moment to do that? Do you take a moment to drive around and say, look what we did?
Yeah, or I'll send John a quick picture, like, hey, look at the before and after, and that's
love
always
that.
kind of fun to be like.
Because he knows I nerd out about stuff like that. I love how
does
it's
nerd
made
out about
stuff.
it.
So when we were doing work on the high school and we were removing, I got a picture and a short video when they were craning
That's always-
on the new HVAC system over the
how
auditorium.
cool is that?
And so, or like, the backup generator stuff, or even like a new boiler system. We
Right.
got that going here in
Right.
London. I'm glad that he knows I appreciate that. And
Do you have to hold them back sometimes? No, not your job. Don't do
No,
that.
not too
Do
bad.
not roll up your sleeves.
No,
No, because sometimes you probably, it's exciting.
Well, but
to see.
it's his world. But I'm the, like I told you earlier, I'm the cheerleader. I'm like, this is
and you're a
awesome and
good one.
appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I
We all
think
do.
Brett knows that I get as excited about a freshly waxed floor as you do.
I
Because,
love that.
But then again,
Yeah.
a week later, you're like, it's all scuffed up.
Who did this? Listen, we have just less than a minute left. So, in a quick, you had to summarize the summer. How would you do that for us?
I would say it was productive, but chaos. Managed chaos.
Managed chaos, okay.
Everybody who contributed to it was great, and we look forward to next summer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Bring it on.
wonderful. Boy, are we grateful, aren't we, John?
Every day.
Yeah.
We got a great crew. I've told a number of times, told everybody, I get to support a phenomenal team,
Yeah.
and this is just another shining example of what we get to do every day.
Will you come back to speak with us into the school year, because we want to hear about how your projects are going?
Of course, yeah.
And, and
You can tell he's so excited. Great.
He's my boss. I'm saying yes.
No, I love to kind of
No, I
show
know.
off all the
I
hard
know
work
you
that
do.
our
I
team
know
does.
you
so
do. I'm
happy to
sorry
be
we
here.
make you sit here
No
and
problem.
talk to us. We're
Yeah.
good.
Thanks
But
so
it really informs everybody, right? Speaking of informing everybody, who do we have coming up next?
We've got Larry Elliott, our Director of Student Services, going to come in and talk about what happened for some of our summer programming. Always a chance to a chance to explore some of those things. And again, it's that stuff that there are things that go on. So this is very poignant because while this work is going on, then we also have what happens with some of our kids in the summertime.
Exactly. So thanks so much for
Thank you.
joining
Thanks
us
for having
here.
me.
We'll be back.
Thanks.
Stay with us for the next segment.
Every dull moment.
We'll get down on Cougar Chronicle.